Well, good morning, guys. It is Sunday, May 31st. I'm Gunarm Dyne. Call me Dyne. Welcome to part 4 of Let's Play Soul Blazer. We have come to the Mountain of Souls, and we're going to meet some very interesting people here. A race which we haven't seen before, but there's really not much we can do in town. So let's go into the 4th dungeon and some of the best music in the game. If you want to think of music that has mountainous vibes to it, this is it. If there was one track in the soundtrack I could listen to over and over again above everything else, it's this. So we released a girl. A pretty short girl, actually. Now we'll talk to her when we get back into town. As for the rest of this, all we have to do is keep climbing. Are these snow rats or snow lizards? I can't tell. I'm not giving them a chance to live long enough to find out. Yeah, we get some goddamn bats here. More like gargoyles. Hit him with magic. Yeah, this light arrow spell is pretty much the most useful spell in the game until the very end. I would switch out of it for that very reason. And he's off screen. Can't quite get him. And of course the punk can fire back at me. Nope, have to go around and get him. And we got some Yetis here. Umaro, what have you done? Oh wait, Umaro wasn't in Eternal Crystals. I can't make that joke, damn. But they kind of attack like him too. They just attack, attack, attack. No tactics whatsoever. So really, Grandpa! Well, the one Grandpa on the planet, apparently. Another short little guy, so these guys are obviously not human. Kind of dwarfish. More of these little stupid ogre eddies. Yeah, they do remind me of the Final Fantasy ogres, just different colors. But all that does is open this chest. 40 gems! Now you can climb back up this, no problem. Reminds me of the Ice Slope on Crystallis, actually. Where you can climb them if you're very, very patient. If you've not played Crystallis, go play it. It's one of the best action RPGs on the NES. But do so after watching this. Avoid the Game Boy Color version like the plague. It is the epitome of unworthy remake. Yeah, these things aren't going to come to life or not. Bullwinkle, no! Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a cadaver out of my head. I can! Yeah, I grew up watching that show. I'm not that old! Believe me, it just come out on VHS! Oh god, I am that old. No! Little shortcut slope to open up, and let's go ahead and finish these guys off again. Hey, Kyle. And then again, I'm not old enough to appreciate 8-track. Just old enough to appreciate vinyl records. So these mushrooms are actually conversationable, if that's even a word. Well, it makes sense. Able to hold a conversation. Simple definition. Or snow ferrets or rats or whatever the hell these things are. I'm enjoying the music too much. I'm paying attention to what these enemies are. Another shortcut, which that wasn't even needed. That's the most pointless layer of all time. Even the 40 gems was more worth it than that. We're getting into another reason this area is so dang cool. You may notice the Aurora Borealis in the background there. And for Super NES graphics, this is friggin' amazing. Look at that. Not quite fully smooth, but man, that is gorgeous. So we're obviously doing some snow shoveling, courtesy of beating these monsters. And oh my goodness, we got snowball tennis here. What the heck? Can I even kill that thing? It's still chasing after me! Go away! What the heck? I totally forgot about these snowballs. Well, this isn't a Looney Tunes cartoon combined with UHF here. They should not be chasing after me. But yeah, to kill them, just do the old go around the tree trick and that'll run into it. Never thought I'd be making so many cartoon references just to start here. But yeah, you can only kill these things once they get the full size. They're like the snowball on 5-2 of Yoshi's Island. Only useful at full size, but suddenly stops, even if it rolls around for 20 more miles. Oh yeah, this music is very catchy. I actually was playing Hatsune Miku Project Diva F on the train one day, and I was playing, I can't remember the name of the song, but the default outfits have both Miku and Rin in bikinis, and they sing about how jokingly, if they can't find a date, they'll form a lesbian relationship. And of course, if you don't know the lyrics to that, since it wasn't translated, you miss out on the joke. But I was sitting next to an old lady one day, and I had my headphones on. I didn't really notice it. I was watching it. I was playing it, just finished up the song, and she nudged me and said, "That's really cute. Can I hear the song they were singing?" And I don't know how she figured they were singing a song, but an old lady who doesn't care about a 30-year-old guy playing a game with teenage girls dancing around in bikinis, that just improved my opinion of humanity, because she thought it was really cute rather than a lot of other judgmental looks I probably tend to get on the train in Utah playing video games with scantily clad women. And speaking of that, I'm currently working on Hyperdimension Neptunia U for the second time. I lost my memory card. Oh, rather, it broke. And so I'm redoing it to finish up getting the platinum. I just have one trophy left, and we'll hopefully finish that in a few days before Lord of Magna comes out. But after that, I'm going to be playing Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus, so a Vita train of very busty ninja girls. We'll see what happens. It's not bad enough so I get kicked off the train, though. But there's more than Aurora Borealis. Yeah, Utah's a beautiful location, but unfortunately, there is some prejudice around here. 50 gems? I don't mind if there are common items around here. Now, if there's nothing inside, that's the unforgivable. Magic armor, so best thing you can get, and if I remember to push the right button. Oh. And select the right thing. So, cuts necessary gems in half. So I'll make sure I have everything else equipped that I need. Light arrow still equipped, critical sword still equipped. So if you want to spam magic, this is the armor to use, but in the end, better to focus on defense, especially if you don't use the defense bracelet. But I didn't get the chance to talk to that lady, because she got caught off the train shortly before the song ended. She didn't get to see the very end. But I'd imagine she probably has grandchildren or at least a son interested in similar things. Or at least a boy, along with a blacksmith forge, apparently. And yet this whole time the music has not gotten old. Even as we enter the ice cave of the mountain. Yeah, I think this is the only song that plays throughout this whole world inside the dungeons. Unlike Area 3, where we had 2 or 3 different songs. I would call this on par with oh dang it, I can't remember the name of the location now, and Ys 3 is one of my favorite games, but yeah, the song that plays in the mountain dungeon on Ys 3 or Ys Oath of Felgana, whichever version you want to go through, that's one of the best songs in that game too. And the PC Engine version is one of the best arrangements of it, to boot. I actually have that on my hard drive as an MP3. Of course, to play PC Engine ROMs, you have to convert the soundtrack into a WAV format to play it on the emulator. But I just made an MP3 version and kept that. But the PC Engine version of Ys 3 is one of the most atrocious examples of voice acting you can ever hear. I think one of the best examples is when you're talking to Chester after the mountain dungeon, and he's just like, "Put away your sword. I don't want to fight." But now we got some slippery, slidey, frictionless ice. And one of those puzzles where you have to go in the right direction to find your way over. There are a few of those in Arkwright's Fantasia I'm going to hate. That's still ahead in the straw poll of what I'm going to let's play after this. And at this point, it's probably pretty much guaranteed to win unless I get an influx of 2,000 new viewers and they decide to vote for something else. I'm at 182 subscribers. Who knows how many actually watch the videos on a regular basis, but hey, if you guys are enjoying it, then I've done my job. least another boy. Another chasm of doom in there. Hooray! I'm back! I am back! I talk like Data from Star Trek. I cannot use contractions. Well, he's very handy on telling us exactly why we need to go see him. And I would rather open the second portal rather than have to backtrack through the first few screens. So, location of the Mountain of Souls. That's kind of a long name, but we'll stay for now, see what we can do before heading back. Nope, not much apparently. Can I even get to the bottom area? Absolutely cannot. Can't even trigger this monster lair, can I? Nope. There's actually a puzzle like this in Persona Q. It doesn't deal with ice, but you're sending one character into a dark room full of FOEs and dead ends. But you actually have to navigate along it. She'll just go in one direction until she stops. And you have to utilize the FOEs at one point. Just to get her to go into a hallway in the middle of a room without going against the wall. Okay, so we can talk to these people. This is where the Mountains of Souls exist. It is quite warm inside the mountain. I can't do much else, so little guy riding on a snail. We are snail jockeys! This snail is called Legend. Well, you're still better than the jockeys from a certain Simpsons episode. These creatures grow very fast. They become adults within half a year, get married, have children, and pass away in a year. They never feel their lives are too short. They enjoy each moment. Now, that's a good attitude to have. They probably wouldn't... Probably the only thing they miss is the different seasons. Why, it is rare to see someone new. Please, come into my room. Do you even have feet? You're just hopping along there, Grandpa. Please, sit right in front of me. I have so many questions about human beings. Would you like to discuss them with me? And that's all you can do. Technically, Grandpa, I'm not human. My wife was able to use magic at one time. Well, she may be the source of our next spell. We just have to release her. We were really happy just gazing at each other. But I may get old soon. Maybe I should search for someone new. We were really happy just gazing at each other. Okay. Here's the other... I will give you my mushroom shoes. There is snail goo on the bottom of these shoes. If you wear these, you will not slip on the ice. You will still slip on the slopes, though. Dyne received mushroom shoes. Unnecessary comma. Actually, Blazer. I need to remember that I'm trying to use the default names. But now that we have exactly what we need, we can climb the mountain again. And do a quick save first, of course. Is this okay, Mommy? I'm just reminded of NCS's Majora's Mask running gag. With the way Link holds up the bottles whenever he traps something in them. And I actually finished recording Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory Race with Rise 51 and Celtic 8402 on Friday. And once they get me their footage, I'm going to start editing it, and hopefully it'll start going up starting next Monday. But one of the most hidden references in that game is the final scene after the credits is actually a very, very veiled reference to Legend of Zelda, because one character literally traps a fairy-sized character inside of a bottle. But nothing else is said of that. But there's an even more overt reference in the end credits, where an 8-bit Neptune is running through a Zelda dungeon, even opening a hidden door by pushing a block. Okay, no enemies other than the killer snowballs. That's a phrase you never thought you'd have to utter. Let's go ahead and open this layer. No more monsters to deal with. So, we release Grandma! And apparently we are in yet another area where they're either youth or old age. No middle age or no regular adults to be found here. Now, one thing to remember is only equip the mushroom shoes so long as you need them. Because the power bracelet is what you want to have on 90% of the time in this game. There we go. Wondering why you guys hadn't spawned anything yet. Just have to stand right on top of it. Now what? Actually, I should probably wait until after I beat the game to talk about this, but yeah, of course, the original Japanese name of this is Soul Blader, and it's actually supposedly based on a short story or at least some kind of novel. And there we go, no more monster layers. But knowing me, I'll forget it I'll forget that when it comes back up. Definitely want these back on. But look at these icicles in the background. This is one of the coolest 3D effects I can think of without the game actually being in 3D. They hover over you and aren't really dangerous. Man, they look cool. Spawn these little enemies, get a level up in the process. Thank you, game. Come on out. Come on, little monster. Yeah, the funny thing is, you're gonna remember this world for the cool atmosphere and music, but not so much for the world you release. The story is supposedly based on, it's actually in the credits, and I mentioned it now just in case I forget, and I'm talking about something else. And we got the Soul Blazer version of Wizrobes here. Maybe we're back to the game we had in World 3 on try and identify as many video game references as possible. Maybe make the same sound effect. Unfortunately, they can only fire in 4 directions. Whereas I can sneak around. Destroy everything, so these guys don't respawn. Yeah, that's everything. But yeah, the atmosphere and music in this world is so powerful, so memorable that you forget about the little I'm suddenly talking like Porky Pig here. The little people, and even the boss on this one I don't remember too much. I just remember that he's not too bad. But again, I said that about the boss of World 2. Got my ass handed to me twice. Only once, if you watch the YouTube version. Yeah, these things will explode after killing them. And oh, bats. Capable of circling around you. Just wait for them to get it where you can hit them, and there you go. Yeah, the episodes in digestible chunks is something I'm experimenting with, and it's working well so far. I honestly don't know how I'm going to break things out in my next Let's Play. I'll probably record a couple hours worth in one go, split them off into 5 videos to be uploaded throughout the week. It simplifies editing a little bit. Nice little shortcut, so you don't have to take the exact path every time. Of course, the other thing is you want to make sure you cover every area of these slopes. Again, to always look for all the monster layers. Yeah, a long stream really gets tiring. I did a 4-hour stream last Monday. I was exhausted the rest of the day. And unfortunately, the music on it has so much copyright on it. I doubt the rebroadcast even has any sound on it. But that was the basis for the practice session for the top 10 list I'm going to be doing after I finish this game. Yeah, this is nice. These guys spawn, but you aren't close enough for them to recognize you and teleport away, so you can just finish them off with magic right here. All dead. And slowly walk up these slopes. Fortunately, you don't have rabbit shoes and have to jump up one slow bit at a time. Of course, in Crystallis, you are not supposed to jump up the slopes. Just makes for a little shortcut, sequence break. And I'll bet you anything that killing these bats is just going to open up the passage to my right. Oh. You missed! How could you miss? Maneuverability is a little slow here. A little limited. Slow. How can maneuverability be slow? It's a measurement of direction. Well, I don't know. Maneuverability can be measured in terms of speed. Just depends on how quickly you can change direction. So it's a measurement of velocity. Oh! Yeah, that absolutely sucks. 10-hour stream, one shot of a game, and not recording the game audio. Either that or the game audio was cut out by something. And I was totally right. Pay me in Bison dollars if you want to cash in on the bet, but who wants to pay me? Yeah, that actually happened to me on my finale of Breath of Fire 2, with a very nice finish of the final boss, where you keep finishing off with a critical hit. And up until the very end, at the very last bit of the credits, I realized my mic had been turned off. So we're at least a little boy and a snail. You'll probably talk to the snails individually, you'll find out, but most of the little Mountain of Souls, I guess they're more like gnomes and dwarves, even though they have no feet. I don't know if you can talk to the snails individually or not. Another mushroom we can absolutely not reach. Just ignore that guy, thankfully. So there are actually 3 segments to this region. You have the outside mountain, you have the inside mountain, and then kind of an underground waterway. And each one is about 2 or 3 screens each. Yeah, this is probably one of the more straightforward areas in the whole game. And it's just all one big mountainous area, rather than like the castle and the painting in World 1. World 2 was pretty linear too, but you had the 3 temples. Literally the worst screen in the world. Just where the mushroom. Oh, okay. Come on. I forgot what I said when I said it. Oh well, kill the bats. Now, when it comes to annoying bats, you can't beat the ones in Castlevania, so there's another reference I can throw out. Oh, okay. Come on. I'll have to rewatch what I said to understand the context of the conversation in the chat. So I'm dealing with slimes and bats here. Such basic enemies and yet so annoying. Now, slimes usually aren't a problem, especially in Dragon Quest. Or their Dugu counterparts in Neptunia series. Shortcut, and that bat was just waiting in midair to get into range and kill the bats. These guys aren't even spawning out of a lair, are they? I'll keep an eye out for it in the rewatch. Whether it's one of the worst screens in the game, or just it's the situation with that mushroom being holed up where you can't reach it. By conventional methods, at least. Oh, another grandpa. And thankfully he has a way of getting out of there, unlike that poor mushroom. Again, the mushroom is stuck there anyway. It's a little crystal minefield, don't worry about it. And yeah, let's go back. I can heal up really quick. And we have finally freed the snail racers. So I'm going to win this race. But we are waiting for the race to start. And apparently they cannot start themselves. So we cannot help Grandpa. We need to find another exit. Well, the jockeys are here and the racetrack is finally finished. We are going to start the race. Why don't you come along? So why aren't you in front of everybody? And apparently they do have feet, but apparently their legs are fused together. They can only hop. On your mark! Well, everyone's on the mark. Okay, are you ready? Get set! Go! And the snail races have absolutely nothing to do with your mission here, so it doesn't matter if you watch them. Go around the entire track. Oh, honey, I can still use magic. Look! Oh, there we go. Unconventional methods. I'll tell you a secret. If you see a sleeping mushroom, return to the same place you saw in his dream. And we just have to time out and wait for the magic to wear off. Yeah, snail racers. Sounds like a weird Hanna-Barbera show from the 60s or 70s. Well, they had wacky races at least.
Make sure you search Leno very carefully. If you move too fast, you may overlook things.
Assuming Leno is the name of the mountain that I had to go to. As for anything else I can search around here, absolutely not. So we had a couple more people freed up. We had the little snail over here. Week, month. This snail always wants me to walk with it. Where shall we go today? Yeah, they don't... Oh, let's go, okay. You think it would have to move without... you'd be able to move without me talking to it again. That's all we can do in here for now. The race starts there, we talked to that mushroom. And, well, lap 2, out of how many, who knows. And another recording, done. I'm gonna hate myself if I accidentally select no, but fortunately, fortunately it's not the default.